Poor communication isn't just awkward, it's expensive. Companies with just 100 employees lose an average of $420,000 annually due to miscommunication. When leadership communication fails, energy drops, deadlines are missed, and innovation dies. But there's good news. These problems are fixable if you're willing to unlearn some deeply ingrained habits. So we're going to explore the 7 critical mistakes leaders make when expressing opinions and how to fix them. So welcome back to Master English Communication. All right. Today's topic is don't make these 7 huge mistakes when expressing your opinions at work. And as always, I'm going to have some recommended resources in the description and more information as well. Let's jump right into it. Let's go with mistake number 1, expressing opinions without respect or empathy. So here's the problem. Delivering opinions as if they are facts using phrases like, that will never work, or interrupting mid-sentence, this sends the message, my ideas matter more than yours. If you're a leader, this is no good. The impact is it creates a hostile environment where trust crumbles. When psychological safety is low, employees are twice as likely to feel stressed at work. So this is the reason why it does not work. The solution, practice active, empathetic listening. Treat your opinion as a hypothesis, not a hammer. Use phrases like, my initial thought is X, but I'm curious what you think. And for more on active listening, I have other videos in my series that will cover this topic more thoroughly. Empathetic leaders perform over 40% higher in key areas like coaching and decision making. This approach doesn't make you look weak. It's the opposite. It strengthens your authority. Mistake number 2, this subtle mistake happens when leaders unconsciously give more airtime to extroverts or those who think like them, creating unintentional in-groups and out-groups. The result, you silently alienate people. 63% of Gen Z employees report not feeling confident expressing opinions at work. So you want to become an intentional facilitator. Send out agendas with questions in advance. Use round-robin techniques where each person gets uninterrupted time. Actively call on quiet team members so they will have a voice. And politely manage those who dominate conversations. Mistake number 3, lack of clarity and poor communication. The vague leader uses fuzzy language like, be more strategic, or just handle it, creating confusion and anxiety. Teams waste weeks on work only to learn it wasn't what the leader wanted. So be precise. Use SMART goals. Don't say increase sales. Say increase product X sales by 15% this quarter, targeting these 3 customer segments. So why so precise? Because it lets everyone know precisely or exactly what to do. So be precise. Also explain why. Connect tasks to bigger company goals to give work meaning and context. And close the loop. Ask, can you summarize the key deliverables to ensure Everyone understands and are in alignment. Mistake number 4, reacting emotionally or focusing on blame. So the emotional reactor or the emotional leader, when problems arise, their first question isn't what happened, but who dropped the ball. Their frustration shows in tone, size, and body language. The impact is toxic. Mistakes get hidden, small problems become crises, and trust evaporates. Every unresolved conflict wastes about 8 hours of company time in gossip and unproductive activities. So, the solution: master emotional intelligence. Know your triggers and pause when frustration rises. Reframe or refrain, pardon me, from personal failure to system failure. Replace "why did you do this" with "what happened and what can we learn?" And then lastly, model calmness to create an environment where problems are solved. Mistake number 5, allowing conflict to escalate. Now, healthy debate is oxygen for teams, right? But there's a fine line between passionate debate and destructive conflict. The conflict avoidant leader sits back when discussions get heated, hoping it'll blow over. But conflict doesn't disappear, it festers, poisoning team morale, and the manager who does nothing isn't helping. So be a firm but fair moderator. Set ground rules for communication before conflict starts. Make it clear that it's okay to challenge ideas, but not people. Intervene early when phrases like "let's take a 5 minute," with phrases like "let's take a 5 minute break." Ask people to restate others' points to ensure understanding. Now, mistakes 6 and 7, favoritism and ignoring boundaries. Playing favorites. When leaders champion ideas from their work besties or their friends at work or people who think like them, but give lukewarm responses to others, it sends a clear message that the game is rigged. Solution: practice what we call radical objectivity. In other words, be objective. Evaluate all ideas using the same criteria. Document decisions to check your biases. Next, ignoring legal boundaries. Sharing political views, asking about religion, or making inappropriate jokes can make employees uncomfortable and expose your organization to legal liability. This is especially true in the United States. In other environments or other cultures, it may be different, but in the United States, this is the case. So, solution is know and enforce company policies, politely redirect non-work topics. That's interesting for outside work, but let's focus on the project. So what do we want to do? We want to build a culture of constructive communication. Effective communication isn't a soft skill. It's the engine of productivity and innovation. When you express opinions constructively, you build a resilient, engaged team that trusts you and does their best work. Lead with empathy. Respect others' perspectives, even when you disagree. Include all voices. Actively facilitate to ensure everyone contributes. Be crystal clear. Define success with precision and context. And stay objective. Judge ideas on merit, not on who proposed them. And of course, like, share, comment on the video, subscribe, and we will see you next time as we continue our linguistic adventure together. Take care.